Hi everyone, this is Katina from IAT1M Ministries. I know it's been a while, but I just thought fitting to come on here today because I wanted to share a dream with you, of which was given to me this past Monday. June 27th, 28th? And it was definitely a lesson learned and one to remember. So I wanted to share because I know it's something that will be helpful for anyone who is wherever you are in your walk with the Lord, and especially when it comes to discernment and obedience, and just making sure you're just listening and paying attention. So the way the Lord has given this to me, it was quite interesting, and it was really good because it brought up so many different scenarios, of which helped me to realize how I need to build up on the gifts and the skills, and just using your natural gifts and skill sets along with your supernatural. Okay, here's a dream. All right, so just imagine, I'm not imagining, it actually really happened. So I had a dream. It was just showing, I wasn't in the dream, so I guess it was a vision, but just, it was on a movie set. But you know how you see the different type of studio sets, but outside though, to where you see the actors and actresses walking from location, or they're on golf courts and they're being transported from one set to another. So this was pretty much the setting of the dream, and there was I guess some scenes being shot for a movie or just whatever that was taking place, and one of the actresses couldn't make it in. So I gave this actress, when I pre-recorded this audio because it was just so good, and at the time it was just so fresh, and the Holy Spirit was just present, and he was just giving me so many good revelations on this, and I'll just try to recall everything I gave in the audio on this visual. So I gave the actress who called in sick, I gave her the name Amy. So Amy called in sick, so the head boss told the guy, I guess he's like a manager or whatever have you, he's a pretty good guy. He just pretty much does what he's told, and he didn't have like a bad attitude or anything like that. He was just really easygoing. But I guess that kind of can go to show for all of us, easygoing, just whatever, just great character, everything. So he was given a note from the head boss to say, send all the workers home. Amy called out sick. She's not coming in. Shut down production. I guess his thing was he wasn't going to pay for any production, anything to, he wasn't going to pay the workers for the day if, Amy was sick and she wasn't there, and, if they needed her to record or do whatever, then it was no need for him to sit up here and, pay everybody for the day if she wasn't going to be in. So, so the guy, I didn't give him a name, but we just say the manager. So the manager, he just, okay, read the note, like, all right, I'll send, whomever home, and, or just I'll shut it down, So he proceeded to, in his golf cart to go to, let's just say Studio A or whatever, to go let the actors and actresses know, like, hey, such and such is not, Amy's not coming in, head boss said shut it down, so he went to Studio A, went to, like, hey, I guess they were in the middle of doing whatever they were rehearsing, shooting, whatever it was. So he just said, I got a note from head boss, I need to shut it down, Amy's out sick, she's not coming in. Shut it down, lights out, everybody, you can go home for the day, take the day off, and, I guess he just pretty much relayed the message. The boss didn't see a need to, sit up here and just pay you all for the day if, we need Amy and she's not here. So, everybody's a little bit perplexed, like wondering, like why is he shutting it down? Like, they didn't like fight it or anything. They were just like they were just a little, like I said, perplexed, confused, and it to them it just didn't make any sense. And so, but they didn't really put up a fight. And then the manager, he was just like, he was like, okay, yeah, I know it's upsetting, but like, I guess maybe like look at it a bright side, like you get the day off or just whatever have you. And but I don't be so broken heart about it. You'll be back tomorrow, or just whatever have you. So everybody was leaving out, lights was turning off, cameras shutting down, and the workers was leaving. So it was just still like little talk here and there amongst the workers. And so the manager was just like one person just strolling out, and he decided to ask the guy. He just said, well, what's the big fuss? Like, why is everybody like, why I'm just a little confused. Like, why did everybody still feel the need to be here? Like, what was the issue? So, so the guy was just like, well, we knew Amy wasn't here, and she wasn't coming in. We knew she was sick. But it just didn't make sense to the rest of us, because what we were shooting, we didn't need Amy. And we actually was, able to get, something else more done. We was able to get more done. And then plus her part, once she does come here, we would be able to like shoot that. So we would have gotten way far more ahead without her, rather than having her here. So, what you thought you were saving, what the boss thought he was saving for today, it actually cost him more, because we still now need to shoot this scene, of which we were cut in the middle of, and we shut all the equipment, everything was shut down. So it's going to actually cost more than it is, than you sending us home. So the guy was just like, oh, like, and I guess he didn't know or think about it. And the way it came to me, I totally get it, understood it. It's just using discernment and just asking. So if he would have just came in there like, hey, I got this note, Amy is sick, do we need her for the day? Is there anything that we can get done in her absence or whatever have you? So that's what the Lord was showing me. And it reminded me of something I was watching with the brother from Rig Nation, brother Tommy Arayomi. And he was saying that one of his lines is, don't accept almost good for good, because the angel of light, the devil, which presents himself as the angel of light, will present you with something almost good, to where God is just good, period. God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. So, basically, what the note that came in for, to the manager to, hey, send these people home. We're going to say, we're saving some money. Amy's not coming in. That was an almost good scenario, to where the good scenario was, had they didn't need Amy there anyway. So had they went on ahead, they according to the dream, they would have gotten a lot more done, because they didn't need her. And then they would have been like 2 scenes or shoots ahead of everything or whatever have you. So, we have to like really use discernment and knowing what's being presented before us. And when I say use every, skill set in the natural versus the supernatural, and your gifts, just use common sense of like what you have. And it just reminds me of I went through 2 instances of which I just totally bombed on. And you talking about somebody boohoo crying, I've been boohoo crying. And it's not it's something when you going through these things and you're being tested, and you're being so that you can make it to your new levels. And new levels come new devils. And when you think you got stuff in the bag, and you don't, or just whatever the case may be, definitely take your time with it. Seek the Lord first. Ask questions. And Abba, he reminded me of this in two different instances. And at one point, what was it? He I was talking, and then he reminded me. He's like, how it is. How you were, when you were younger, and you'd ask your mom, could you go somewhere? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's how I want you to come to me. Ask me. And how they say, in the Bible, test the spirits. Basically, ask the Lord. If the manager, should I be doing this? Or like, especially if you need help with anything. There was, again, like I said, two instances to where, I got tested on, or not a test, but it was just places that the Lord didn't want me to be. He just clearly didn't want me to be. So I was tested on two I don't know if I want to say tested, but it was just like, well, great tests will lead to great testimonies. Let me just put it that way. But just building on the gifts and the skill sets of hearing the Lord's voice. So I have a couple of different ways of which I hear, but this last one was on signs, and I didn't do so well. And so, yes, I was definitely boo-hooing, and, the Lord clearly didn't want me to be somewhere. And, where the angel of light presented something that was almost good. And, it wasn't good, at all by any means, because, the Lord didn't want me to be there because of where I was in my walk with him, and the situation presented for me to probably, even backslide, or just whatever have you. Or just what I'm also learning from a video I've watched through Brother Whitfield's of opening doors and gates and ladders. So I gave this scenario also in my audio recording, to where I'm just giving a scenario. So let's just say if you meeting a girlfriend or friends or whatever have you. This just all of a sudden came up. You meeting a friend, hey, let's go out for lunch or whatever have you. So, all right, so I meet you at, such and such a. But, God knew in advance that, if you go meet this friend for lunch or whatever have you, that you gonna go run into somebody that he don't want you running into. And let's just say your walk with the Lord is just progressing so much so to where, guess what? He got an assignment for you for the next day, but you don't know about it. So so you preparing yourself to go meet this friend, and then let's just say all of a sudden you can't I don't know, let's see, you can't find your keys, you got a flat, let's say something that keeps you from you being able to go. But you, for whatever reason, make it to where you get there because you don't want to miss this lunch. It's the almost good situation. You figure no harm, no foul, but you don't know that you're going to run into ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, or just whatever that was just so toxic to where, again, it wasn't nothing that you knew about, of course, because God knew about it, because, for him, he knows everything. It's either already happened. If it happened in the heavens before it happened on earth, he already has knowledge of it. And he's trying to forewarn you through a sign. If you can't get to your car to just discern, like, wait a minute, this is happening for a reason. Any other time I wouldn't have no problem with getting up out of here. Why all of a sudden now I cannot get to this luncheon? So we really need to start using like these tools, these our senses, common sense, or just like really looking at it. Don't look at it as like a bad situation, or it's like a bad thing, like, oh, I got a flat, or oh, I gotta, or sometimes it's like, no, you're not supposed to go. So, or, locking, again, for me, I locked my keys somewhere. And yeah, but anyway, so, you make that way to go, and then, yeah, guess what? You run into this person. So now it's now, you got, I don't know, whatever running into this person may cause. I don't know if it may cause like some type of anxiety or just whatever it is. Or I don't know. It's just gonna like, oh, maybe it's a reconnection. I don't know. So again, if the Lord has you, on level 10, running into this person now brings you back to level 6. And the assignment that he had for you the next day, you can't do it. So, where you thought it was so important to meet this friend for lunch, the almost good, another thing that he was showing me, like, don't sit up here and sacrifice good for the greater good. And let's just say if the assignment he had for you was to bless 10 people, you don't sacrifice one for everyone. And these are the terms that he was like just downloading in my spirit. Like, don't sacrifice the good for the greater good. And, don't sit up here and sacrifice one for everyone. So and it's just like how he says, how we got this term, like it's not about you, it's bigger than you. It's always something bigger in the grand scheme of all of this. So, we really have to be obedient to whatever voice he's using, whether it's a sign, whether it's, another thing also Brother Tommy had mentioned too, God's voice is like heartburn, but for me it's almost even like heart palpitations. So, I think I kind of got that in a sense. And so I think, he was showing me in signs, and I don't usually pay attention to signs a lot like that. So I guess that was one of these things to where he was like testing me on. So yeah, I bombed and missed on the sign, and hence why I'm doing this video, and more than likely why I was given the dream about the movie set and the man. So the sign, I guess the way he was just basically showing me with the guy just asking, and he did tell me, like, remember how like when you ask, your mom when you was a kid, like, could you go to the park, could you go with somebody, and then my mom, she's like, you better make sure you home before before it gets dark, like not like when it's so, and when your mom didn't play, and she told you to get home, you get home. And it's just the same thing with Abba. Like, if he don't want you somewhere, don't go. And if you it's going to be more harm for you because he has you, you're about to be on an assignment and you don't even know about, or just whatever the case may be. It's the same thing. And it's just crazy how God will show us things in the natural. It also applies in the supernatural. And, we fail to realize this. We all have the same creator. We all have a heavenly father, and it's him. And he's showing us through our relationships with our own parents, with our own, spouses and children. So, we definitely do have to see this, we have to see the bigger picture, in all of this too, because he showed me in another scenario too, when I think I shared this before, when I was on the Easy Pass line, and, it was like, was it it was this past summer or whatever, when things were starting to, like, I guess it was when, COVID was like still fresh, and, I guess it was just, Easy Pass was just crazy. They stopped taking coins and that whole sort of thing or whatever have you. But, I had got I had to pay for a toll, whatever have you. But they sat up here and put all this extra money on it or whatever have you. So, and that was an assignment, and I did not know. So the crazy thing is like these people started arguing in the back of the line of me, and then I'm just sitting up. I couldn't believe what was happening in the back of me, just like right in the back of me. So if anybody swung, they could have probably hit me. So I was like, oh my, and I'm saying in my head like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this happened. I can't believe this happened. I'm like, Lord, what do I do? Lord, what do I do? And it was just so funny. You don't even think that you're actually like going, like really, I didn't even think the Lord was listening. I didn't even think God was listening. I was just like sitting up here just like, I'm thinking myself is talking to myself. And then again, that's God's voice. He comes in as you, but the way he just came in, it was just so cool, just so bomb, because Dad is gangster. Like he just, just the way everything happened, and and he meets you where you are, but I did ask him, what do I do or whatever, and it was like a ditching situation, and so I was going to let the people that was sitting up here ditching, I was going to let them in front of me. He was like, no, you let the people that he was trying to ditch in front of you, and then I was like, oh wow, yeah, that's a great idea, because but the long and short of it was just a beautiful story. But the thing was, I didn't realize I was even talking to the Lord. I'm thinking I'm sitting up here talking to myself. And, just the whole time. And then, even with letting the people know that I was, going to let them get in front of me, I was like, all right, Lord, I ain't going to talk, because I'm such an introvert. I don't do talks, like with people, especially if I don't know. I'm like, well, she going to have to talk to me first, because I don't know how I'm going to tell her that. I'm going to let her get in front of me so that she won't be sitting up here arguing, or just whatever. So, but anyway, he reminded me of, you see how when you was on the Easy Pass line, you came straight to me. He's like, that's what I want from you. I want you to come to me no matter what the situation, no matter, just whatever it is, come to me. And then I was just like, wow, like that's so easy. If we just go to the Lord, and the thing is like, you don't even think like it just wasn't even a thought. Then when it's time for you to do it, you don't do it. Like that situation, I don't know what it was. I don't know, it was because it was the heightened sense of like, because these people were about to fight in the back of me, or just whatever it was, or because, and I didn't think like, oh, let me go to my daddy. You don't even think about it. And so now it's just like, I'm going to start doing it. It's just like how I went to my mom, especially like when, like let's just say like, back in the day, you was young, or somebody like, want to fight you, or somebody was messing with you, and you be like, I'm gonna go tell my big brother, or I'm gonna go tell my daddy, I'm gonna tell my mommy. Same thing. Abba wants you to come to him. So go to daddy, ask questions. So, this is just helping me with discernment and obedience to just like nothing else. And, I did, I had wrote down some notes here as well too. But yeah, as far as like with the whole girlfriend situation, when you running into somebody he don't want you to run into or whatever have you, because he knows where he have you, and with and then there's that the potential for you to open a gate, a door, whatever, possible backsliding. He don't want you to give, and he doesn't want the enemy to have access to your thoughts. So if you're thinking about this ex-boyfriend or just whatever have you, wherever he has your mind, there's the opportunity, that the devil can get in and use these things to sit up here and manipulate you. And it will undo, or it can, whatever the work the Lord has put in with you, it can take that back down a notch to where, you wouldn't want that hindering or, slowing up his work or the process or where you are with your walk with the Lord. And, you definitely don't want to sacrifice the good for the greater good. Using wisdom, in everything you do, every decision. It's just like if you buying a new car, a new house, whatever the case may be. You are supposed to use discernment, like be wise, like again, ask questions, ask God first, and it'll definitely help out with a lot of stuff in the long run. And but so my situation, I had wind up meeting, going out to go to a place where I shouldn't have been, and I wind up running and seeing seeing people I shouldn't have seen, and God is he's pruning me. And and it did kind of put thoughts on my mind that it I don't want to say it like it made me backslide, but it was just like a delay, because now it's just like, my thoughts are not on the Lord. They were more or less on these people or the particular situation, to where he's trying to move me from one from one place. He's closing doors to just different things in my life, and he's really moving me into ministry. And how could he possibly move me into ministry in the time frame that he's trying to get me in his time, and I go sit up here and just do some off the wall, not look at the signs, and listening to his voice in the different ways that his voice will come in, and jeopardizing his plan, or just I could have been on an assignment for the next day. I don't know what I could have messed up by me not listening. So I just hope and pray that this dream, or just the different scenarios given based off of this dream, will bless you in your walk with the Lord. And I just want to, let me see if this just looking at some more of my notes, just to make sure that you are using discernment, going to him first, explore every option there is to seek the Lord, asking him first, just making sense out of different situations. Because again, if the manager would have said, hey guys, with the information that you have, yeah, wow, that's so cool. Yeah, so basically with the information that you have, you can pretty much kind of like just do like a process of elimination, basically. Like, all right, this is happening. All right, okay, so obviously I shouldn't either be going, or I need to take this to the Lord, or just whatever it is. So I would just definitely say that especially like in these times, to where things is about, things are like, they're not easy, and they're not going to get any easier, because we're going to see so much change. And my dreams, with respect to I've had a dream of pending storms. It like just water, wave after wave, just thing after thing after thing after thing, just coming. The way that the dream was, it was just like big weight, like just wave, just different things, just like one after another. And so this is a critical time for us to be on our peak spirit awakening, opening, or whatever it is. So I would suggest you go to the Lord and fast, ask him about a fast, and fast times 10, because wherever we're about to approach, it's about to come top notch. If you're not abiding in him, you won't be able to process or handle what's to come. And I did have a vision a while ago, of which I shared, about the Lord gave me the term shockwave. And I don't think I shared this before, but I also had a dream. I don't know. I don't think I mentioned this before, because I know that there's some things you say and you don't say. I know I had the date. It was the number 11. So I just assumed it was a date, because I had a J month had came through. So I don't know if it was January, June, July, but yeah, it was just ringing through, and I assumed it was January. Didn't think about it for anything else, but now it's come back to my attention, like, oh, we're approaching another J month. So just been warning people about water. I've just been looking back at my notes and my recordings of the dreams that I've had, the thoughts that I've had, revelations that I've had, visions that I've had, and a lot of them speaks to a lot of preparedness making sure you have water. I've just been seeing a lot of dark or just riots. I not too long ago just saw a riot, like people fighting in the streets. And I just pray that you all use wisdom and discernment, and with any given situation that you're in, and take everything, all things that you do to the Lord first. And I just pray that God's will be done, and his desire is that no one shall perish but to have everlasting life. And I do pray and hope that with these messages coming out and going out, to warn people that it does save, and it does give people the opportunity to to prepare, to seek the Lord, to abide in the Lord. And I know that that's a place where I'm planning on staying, and it's definitely helpful. I don't care how much I've cried. I mean, I believe my bag should be a little bit bigger than this, because I've been going in and I've been learning a lot, and I'm just so thankful. And it's just amazing when it's just it's such a shame, because we take our natural parents for granted, and we take our Lord, our God, for granted too. And when you have somebody that cares for you and loves you that much, and I've been learning so much, you would think that you would just you can't hate God. It's in times like you say you hate your parents or whatever because they don't want to let you go somewhere, or they're protecting you from this. And I just recently, not too long ago, that was a while back, but I made it for the girl I made it for, she loved it so much. Rejection is God's protection. So your parents, when they're rejecting something, or they're keeping you from something, they're protecting you. And we take it for granted, and we go through these little fits and everything, whatever little demonic thing that we got up in us, whatever little spirit in this just really want us, we really want to go somewhere, we really want to be sitting up here being disobedient, or just whatever the case may be, against our parents. And because we want to have our way, because I can remember some of the times, but my mom didn't play that. So I don't know if there was plenty of times, I don't know if there was many times to where I would just sit up here and got in my little moods about, being mad because my mom didn't let me go anywhere. But, I love my mom and my daddy all the